Hello, lovely people. It's Sakino on Sunday again. If you haven't watched this video series, I am introducing myself a little bit. I am a therapist since more than 40 years, and in the last 20 something years I have specialized in family constellation, systemic therapy, and trauma therapy. And this is something I'm working with all the time, with my clients in groups, in one-on-one sessions. And at this particular time, where we are all thrown into a situation that we have no control over, at least not concerning the influences of this virus on our personal and social life. And that is a situation that, especially for people who have experienced early childhood traumata in their lives, it's especially difficult to live in. Because fact is, we are not in control. And not only are we not in control, we also cannot really see what's coming towards us. This virus is invisible. So we don't know, and it's also connected to other people. So our basic needs of connection, physical touch, closeness are compromised, one could say. We cannot touch other people except if we are living with them in one household and we are very close to them. But we cannot approach other people as we used to approach them. Handshakes, hugs, all of that is not possible at the moment because we don't know if we get infected with the virus. And as we don't know how this virus really works, this makes us even more insecure, because science is constantly researching and finding new insights and new discoveries. And all of that makes us feel insecure. And it triggers our system, our nervous system basically, in a way that reminds the nervous system of maybe something that we have experienced in our early lives where we also were not in control. And so in order to somehow get in control or feeling to hold on to something, what happens right now in society, in my circle of friends even, is people try to hold on to something, theories, explanations, even denial, so that they can gather a kind of feeling, well, somehow I am still in control. Which of course we are not, but this is a way of dealing with a situation which has thrown us out of control. So I cannot prove that But this is what I experience myself and what I experience in my clients and in my circle of friends and acquaintances. So what I want to say is that the so-called conspiracy theories, whatever they are a way of holding on to something when there is actually, in fact, nothing to hold on to. Because we don't know. We are powerless in a particular sense. And then also holding on to something like going in, meditate, looking inside, strengthening the observer in us. For many people this doesn't help either, because they cannot go and meditate, because that throws them into dissociation. Then they are not there at all. So being thrown into that situation of not being in control, we try to hold on to anything that makes sense, a little bit of sense. And sometimes it reminds me also of the states of grieving that Elisabeth Kübler-Ross is describing in her teachings. And one of the states is denial. So some of those conspiracy theories are grounded in denial. This whole thing doesn't really exist. This whole thing is invented by whoever to control us, or whatever the theory is that someone hangs on to. So denial, or fighting it, or so that we are not reacting or responding in situation like that from our neocortical capacity of reasoning, thinking through, but we are reacting from our autonomic nervous system, basically. That's frozen in fear, in panic, or in the sympathetic part of that autonomous nervous system, we are fighting. Or the denial, we are just running away. So relating this whole situation of the coronavirus and the responses to it, and all the so-called conspiracy theories to trauma, for me it has a lot to do with trauma reactions. Because we try to cope with a situation that we are not in control of. And we do anything to escape all those feelings that come up with that, and especially the feelings of fear and panic, instead of allowing them to be there and feeling them and sharing them with trusted others, with a therapist. We are fighting. We are fighting against, or we are holding on to let's say a little bubble that we have built with a very few trusted people, and crawling into that bubble, which is another understandable response to that basic fear, because the fear is about death, about dying, about not surviving this. And that includes everything. It doesn't include only the physical survival, so my body dies. It also concerns many, many people, their economical survival, which of course is also a question of surviving. So in order to deal with that fear and panic and survival, existential, deadly fear, we are kind of escaping into those whatever theories we are escaping in, or whatever mechanisms we are escaping in. And that's very understandable. I have no judgments whatsoever about that. It's very understandable. And I also do not have solutions. I will never pretend that I have any solutions. I know when I have nights where I'm flooded with nightmares about existential survival. And it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant at all. The only reason why I am talking about this in this way today is because I want to say we are in this together. And I want to encourage you to reach out, to talk to people that you trust. Talk to a trusted friend. Talk to a therapist that you trust. I encourage you to don't hide. And sometimes, yes, I also do that sometimes. Sometimes I just crawl into my bed and for a day or two I don't want to talk to anybody. That's absolutely okay. So trust what your body is telling you to do. But also be aware that there are people out there who are there for you. And sometimes, even though you might feel you don't want to talk to anybody, do it anyway. Share. And I am inviting you to contact me if you want to. I will be there for you too. Take care. You are not alone. We are not alone. Let's reach out to each other in this time. And even though now in some countries the restrictions have been loosened up a bit, we are not out of the danger zone. Some countries have restricted again. And yes, this is frightening because we do not know. But let's be there for each other. I'm sending you a virtual hug, and I wish that you find at least one person within the next week that you can talk to and share how you really feel, because that's what's needed. Thank you for listening.